This is the 2013 season recap. Coach Ben Van Zandt and the Minnesota Golden Gophers finished the 2013 season with a 10-3 record, ending as Outback Bowl champions. It was another great year for Minnesota Golden Gopher football, a historic season for the Golden Gophers. Let's recap that 2013 season for Minnesota. We entered this season coming off of the Cinderella National Championship run in 2012. Coach Ben Van Zandt returning for his second season as Golden Gophers head coach. We started the season a bit disrespected, number 24 in the rankings to start the year, and we started things off on the road against Cal. And what an epic game this was to start off the season. All the doubters, preseason low ranking, getting some initial backup here, initial proof early on as we fall behind 21-0 in the first quarter. Cal right away getting a long touchdown pass, just taking it to us in the first quarter. 21-0 deficit. We had some big comebacks in 2012. We were hoping to do it here and avoid an opening game loss to the season, and we started battling back here. Calhoun, a couple nice passes here. Calhoun to Ostrander was our first touchdown of the season. And later in the second quarter, a long pass to Eddie Benson, 70 yards there. Field goals exchanged before halftime. We went into halftime trailing by 7. Cal extended their lead in the third quarter with this touchdown run here from Yancey. We fought back, made it a 7-point game once again. Calhoun to Benson from 35 yards out. In the fourth quarter, able to tie things up with this nice run here from Herb Martin. And that set things up. Great work from our defense in the second half here, getting the ball back and putting together a nice drive set up for a chance to win it, and we get the job done. Manuel Walker, the final play of the game, hitting a 21-yard field goal. We complete a huge comeback to start off the season 1-0 in Berkeley. Great victory there. Then we were at home against Bowling Green, first home game since winning the national championship the year prior. And we fell behind in this one as well. Bowling Green striking first. Smith a 4-yard touchdown run. Calhoun to Ostrander 7-7 after 1. We get the lead here in the second quarter with a field goal. Bowling Green's able to match it. And then a very strong end of the first half here for us. Calhoun to Dunbar twice before hitting halftime. 22 yards and 21 yard. We went into halftime with a 14-point lead. Bowling Green cutting it back to 7 here. Heath to Nelson. Michael Bass, nice 17-yard touchdown run here, made it a 14-point game again going into the fourth quarter. And this was a play that seemingly put this one away. Bradford scooping up a fumble, intercepting a option play here, actually, and returning it 37 yards. That was a very clutch play, put this one away, essentially. They were able to get a touchdown run here with Heath, but they were not able to get anything else on the board. It's Walker hitting a 40-yard field goal, made it a 3-possession game, and that was the nail in the coffin in this one. So there is a 2-0 start to the season, getting the job done at home. Taking on Colorado State, we played them last season. It was a 31-20 victory, and it was very nearly an identical final score in this one. We were able to get ourselves off to a better start in this game here. Calhoun to Dunbar, 14-yard pass there, 7-0 lead after 1. Calhoun to Fowler made it 14-0. Colorado State got on the board with a 14-3 halftime lead for us. Bass getting in the end zone. Colorado State trying to make a push back here in the third quarter, scoring the last 10 points of the quarter. We went into the fourth quarter with a 1-possession lead, just an 8-point advantage. Nice field goal here from Walker, made it a 2-possession game. And then defense getting a score, putting the game away again. This time it's Tate with an INT, returning at 68 yards. Fantastic play there. Colorado State was able to get a touchdown later in the fourth quarter. They decided to go for the 2-point conversion and end up failing. Be able to get the win here, 31-19, to move to 3-0. Then on the road against North Carolina, this was a ranked matchup. Exciting game this was here in Chapel Hill. There was a lot of excitement from Tar Heel fans, hoping that they could get the victory and remain unbeaten on their young season. We were able to get off to a nice start here. Calhoun to Foster, 10-yard touchdown pass, put us up 7-0. Final play of the first quarter, though, UNC able to break one. Rose takes it 86 yards for a huge touchdown run, 7-7 after 1. North Carolina takes the lead in the second quarter with a field goal. Great work from us, able to get the lead back before halftime. Calhoun to Dunbar, short touchdown pass there, 14-10 at the half. In the third quarter, our defense coming through once again, making a huge play. Leak intercepting the pass and returning it 77 yards, a massive play right there. North Carolina was able to get a field goal from Peterson about midway through the third quarter to cut it back to a one-possession game. But our defense was lights out the rest of the way here. No more points were scored in this game. 21-13 the final. We get the win. 4-0, undefeated in non-conference play. Then we began our conference season, starting things off in the Big Ten at home against our rival Iowa. And this one did not go our way. Got on the board first here. Nice field goal from Walker, 52 yards. Great kick there. They were able to tie things up. Padilla from 32 yards out. Strong start to the second quarter. Bass a touchdown run. Walker a field goal. But a very strong end to the second quarter from Iowa. Van Dyke to McCauley, 34 yards for a touchdown. Then Van Dyke to Cruz, 25 yards for the touchdown. Iowa went into halftime with a 17-13 lead. They extended it in the third quarter. Padilla, 34-yard field goal, made it a 7-point game. We tried to get something going, tried to fight back here, but we were not able to. Our offense getting shut down. Iowa taking over, and Knight in a 50-yard run here. That one put this game to bed. 27-13 ends up being the final. The first loss of the season. The first loss for Minnesota under Coach Ben Van Zandt. It's a rough one here, no doubt about that. Tough pill to swallow, losing this rivalry game at home, ending the winning streak we had. Tough one indeed. Then we went on the road to take on a very, very, very good Ohio State team. We were the underdogs going into this one after we did not look very impressive against the Hawkeyes and some of the games earlier in the season that we were able to win. But what an epic game this was here. Ohio State starting off getting points on the board first, 18-yard run from Johnson. And then we were able to bounce back. Calhoun to Fowler, 7-7 after one. The Buckeyes take the lead in the second quarter. Hayford, 25-yard field goal goes through. We were trailing by 3 points at halftime. In the third quarter, defense playing very well. We were able to get the lead for the first time here late in the third quarter. Calhoun, great job, great scramble, running it in from 12 yards out. Big score there, put us up by 4 going into the fourth quarter. A little over midway through the fourth quarter, we extend the lead. Calhoun to Lambert, 16-yard touchdown pass. That was a big score there, put us up by 11 points. And this was a wild end to this game here in Columbus. Ohio State getting the touchdown here, Givens to Alexander. They went for 2 to try to make it a 3-point game. They were unable to do so. They went with the onside kick. We made the recovery. The game was not over. They had all their timeouts. We tried to find a way to move the chains and put this one away. And Calhoun making a big mistake, getting intercepted by Thomas, who not only gives the Buckeyes the ball back, he takes it all the way back to the house. 52-yard touchdown return. Just like that, the Buckeyes were in front once again late in this game. They went for 2 and got it to make it a 3-point lead. Calhoun, after just throwing that very costly interception, got the ball back, game on the line, needing to put together a drive, and he was able to do so, taking us all the way down the field and leading us to the game-winning score, finding Dexter Lambert for a 14-yard game-winning touchdown pass. 28-24 ends up being the final. A thrilling game in Columbus. Big victory there for us. That put us to 1-1 in conference play. Then we were on the road against Northwestern, the Wildcats. It was an epic game against Northwestern back in 2012. We were able to get the win in double overtime. Did not work out that way for us here. Northwestern striking first. Schmidt, 16-yard touchdown run, gave them a 7-0 lead. Great play here. Calhoun to Fowler, 62 yards, 7-7 after one. Northwestern, early second quarter, pick 6. McDonald intercepting it and returning it 47 yards for the score. We bounced back, tying things up. Calhoun to Fowler, 28 yards, 14-14. Northwestern strong end to the second quarter. Red nailing a couple field goals, 36 yards and 47 yards. The Wildcats had a 6-point lead at half. They extended their lead in the third quarter. Red from 44 yards made it a 2-possession game. Then late in the third, Ryan Malone touchdown scored. They went for 2 to try to make it a 3-possession game, and they got it. We were facing a huge deficit going into the fourth quarter, trying to find a way to battle back. Walker hitting a 44-yard field goal that made it a 14-point game. That was the last points we were going to get in this one. Northwestern, they ended up kicking a field goal really late in this one. It was an unnecessary field goal, but they kicked it there, 37 yards from Red. He had a great game. The Wildcats had a great game. And we did not, unfortunately for us, our second loss of the season, 34-17. That dropped us to 1-2 in conference play, putting us in a big hole. Both divisional losses, seeming like our chances of getting back to the Big Ten championship were likely over. Next week at home against Nebraska. It's an epic game against Nebraska last year as well. We needed a huge comeback in this and last season. There's a lot of points. Not a lot of points in this game. No points in the first quarter. First score came over midway through the second quarter. Ryan from Nebraska hitting a 26-yard field goal, 3-0 Cornhuskers at halftime. In the third quarter, Ryan hitting a 46-yard field goal, giving us a 6-0 lead. Then we were able to respond. Schultz coming in at QB. Calhoun was banged up. And Schultz finding it to Ostrander's 67-yard touchdown pass. Huge score there. That put us up 7-6, and that was the score entering the fourth quarter. Nebraska regained the lead as Ryan hit a 49-yard field goal to put them up by 2. Later in the fourth, we were able to get a clutch drive put together, putting Walker in range, and he nailed a 26-yard field goal to make it 10-9. Nebraska got the ball back. They were driving down the field. They were at the edge, like borderline of field goal range. They could have tried a long field goal from there. They decided to try to get closer and throw a pass. We end up getting a huge interception to seal it. 10-9, the victory there in an old school defensive struggle kind of game. Big win there for us. We had a bye in week 9. Then in week 10, we hosted Wisconsin. Big rivalry game there. Of course, we had a couple epic games against them back in the 2012 season. Quite possibly the game of the year in college football during the regular season against Wisconsin. Then we met them again in the Big Ten Championship and were able to get the win there to send us to the National Championship where we defeated Oregon. Wisconsin was having a tremendous season. They entered this game the number 1 team in the country. We were looking to get a huge victory there, get an upset win in a rivalry game, and this game was absolutely epic. It was high scoring, as was both of our meetings against Wisconsin in the 2012 season. Wisconsin striking first in this one. Warren to Unger touchdown pass. Calhoun to Fowler battled back 7-7. Wisconsin touchdown 14-7 Badger lead after 1. They extended here. Pugh a 46-yard field goal. Walker 42-yard field goal made it a 7-point game once again. Then shortly after, Anderson, a huge play, getting the interception, pick 6 there, taking it back to the house. That tied things up at 17. Wisconsin did have a response so quickly going down the field. Barclay 3-yard run put them back up by 7. We drove down the field, got into range, 53-yard field goal from Walker. Nice kick there. It looked like that would give us some momentum going into halftime. But there was still a lot of action to be had before halftime would come. Wisconsin going right down the field in incredible speed. Warren to Unger, a 4-yard touchdown pass with just a couple seconds remaining. Looked like the Badgers were going to have all the momentum going into halftime. They kicked it off deep, trying to kick it out of the end zone. Roberts catches it at the back of the end zone and unbelievably takes it all the way to the house. A 108-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Just a crazy, crazy play, crazy end to the first half. And we did have all the momentum going into the locker rooms after that. Even though the Badgers had the 31-27 lead, that got everyone really fired up. In the third quarter, though, Wisconsin getting a touchdown, extending their lead, getting here, but we had the response. Calhoun to Ostrander, got it. Went for 2 and got it. Then in the fourth quarter, Touchdown run from Martin. Clutch play there. Indeed it was, giving us the lead. Wisconsin finding a way to battle back. Warren leading them down the field, getting it to Kelly. 9-yard touchdown pass, put the Badgers in front. Time running out in the fourth quarter. Could Calhoun lead us to another game-winning touchdown drive? Yes, he could. Leading us down the field, and Calhoun getting it to Dunbar for the 9-yard touchdown pass. Stunner there, 49-45, ends up being the victory. In an epic game here, an epic rivalry game. We take down the number 1 ranked Wisconsin Badgers at home. Huge win there. Then we took on another top 10 ranked team on the road, taking on the Michigan Wolverines. Last season against Michigan, we had a massive win. It was a low-scoring game. 9-3 was the final. It was a game we, of course, needed to stay undefeated. If we didn't beat Michigan last season, we wouldn't have even made it to the Big Ten championship. So Michigan was looking for some revenge. A lot more points scored in this one. We struck first. Calhoun to Ostrander, 20-yard touchdown pass. We decided to be aggressive and go for the 2-point conversion. We liked our chances, but it backfired tremendously. Not only did we not get the 2 points, it was picked off in return, so Michigan got the 2 points, 6-2 lead after our opening touchdown drive. Michigan responded, getting the touchdown. Chambers a long run here, and then Campbell to Hines, short touchdown pass. Wolverines had a 16-6 lead at home after one. Long field goal here, nailed from Walker, 51-yard, going right through, made it a 7-point ball game. Then here, Calhoun to Fowler, 73 yards, huge strike there. We went into halftime with the momentum. The game was tied 16-16. In the third quarter, we get the lead. Bass punching in from 3 yards out, put us up by 7. Then in the fourth, extending the lead with a field goal from Walker. Trying to put the game away, couldn't quite do it. Settled for another field goal from Walker that made it a 13-point lead for us. Michigan trying to fight back in this one. Campbell leading them down the field. Touchdown pass to Collins. Made it a 6-point game. Michigan going for the onside kick, but we were able to get the recovery and hold on to an exciting 29-23 win against the Wolverines. Big rivalry victory there. Week 12, we were at home against Penn State, another rivalry game for us. And Penn State striking first in this one, a 54-yarder from Frazier. Great kick, 3-0 Nittany Lions after one. In the second quarter, we got things going our way. Calhoun touchdown pass to Lambert, then to Ostrander, then to Benson. Just like that, we were up 21-3. Penn State, though, getting a nice end to the first half, getting a big touchdown pass. Tillman to Anderson with not much time left. That pulled them a bit closer. 21-10 was a halftime score. They pulled even closer early third quarter. Bailey a 9-yard touchdown run made it a 21-17 ball game. We were able to get a response touchdown drive. Martin punching in from 3 yards out made it 28-17. We had chances to put this game away, get more scores, but fortunately we had a couple turnovers when we were on the brink of scoring. Also, fortunately for us, our defense was able to get takeaways as well and shut down the Nittany Lion chances. 28-17 ends up being the final score there. That set things up in week 13 for a huge showdown. The winner of this game would be going to the Big Ten championship against Wisconsin. We went on the road to take on the Spartans. It was supposed to be a very good competitive game, and quite unfortunately for us, it was not that way at all. It was through the first quarter, no points scored, but right away in the second quarter, Michigan State took over and started dominating this game. Holstein had an absolute career game. He threw 4 touchdown passes in the second quarter alone, 8 on the game. Freeney, Haas, Freeney, and Freeney again. Michigan State 28-0 at halftime with all the momentum, and they continued that momentum in the third quarter. Holstein to Freeney again, Holstein to Vandermeulen. They had a 42-0 lead in the third quarter. Over midway through the third quarter, we were finally able to get on the board first. Calhoun to Fowler touchdown pass. We kept going for 2 whenever we scored. We kept going for onside kicks. Maybe that made things worse for us in the end, giving Michigan State short fields. field goal here from Justice. Holstein to Jackson touchdown pass. We played till the very end. We were able to get another score here. Calhoun to Lambert. But Michigan State they were just dominating this game. Another touchdown pass here in the fourth quarter from them. Calhoun to Fowler got a long touchdown pass, but Michigan State taking it right back. 5-yard run from Parks. We score very late in this one, just seconds left. Calhoun to Benson. We got a 2-point conversion. It made it a little bit closer, but this was never a contest. Michigan State pure domination in this one at home, 66-28. They win the game, they win the division, and they go to the Big Ten Championship after making a statement. It was a really rough end to the regular season for us, certainly not the way we wanted things to close out. But we knew we were going to a bowl game. We knew we were going to have a chance to make history in the bowl game and attempting to get Minnesota back-to-back 10-win seasons for the first time since the early 1900s for our program. So after the beatdown against the Spartans, we came out to practice, had a bit of a break afterwards, got back to work. We were going to be inspired, going to be determined going into our final game of the season, our bowl game, which ended up being the Outback Bowl, the first ever appearance for Minnesota football in the Outback Bowl. And we took on the South Carolina Gamecocks. This was also the first meeting between these two schools. Apologize for the delay. Yeah, the scoring summary is not listed here, but I'm going to have it available for this one. Like I said, we're trying to get to 10 wins in back-to-back seasons for the first time since the very early 1900s for the Minnesota football program. Game played in Tampa, Florida. Obviously, we won the national championship in Miami back in 2012, so another bowl game in Florida. And we struck first in this one, a 37-yard field goal, good from Walker, giving us a 3-0 lead. South Carolina took the lead with a 49-yard run from Fry. They had a 7-3 lead after one. In the second quarter, late in the second quarter, Bass punched it in from 1 yard out, giving us a 10-3 lead at halftime. In the third quarter, South Carolina tied things up, a 41-yard field goal, good from Battle. Then in the fourth, they took the lead with a 23-yard field goal from Battle. We were trailing by 3 in the fourth, and we were able to regain the lead. Calhoun getting it to Dexter Lambert, 40-yard touchdown pass. This game had a lot of turnovers, a lot of action, a lot of big plays. South Carolina looked like they were going to get the ball back in great field position with a chance to score a touchdown to win the game. We were back at our own 1-yard line. Second and very, very, very long. Got a few yards to give us some breathing room. 3rd and 21. We decide to go for the first down instead of trying to make them use their last timeout. Went with the pass and got it to Levi Dunbar. A phenomenal play. Calhoun to Dunbar. And Dunbar broke it. He could have taken it all the way to the end zone. Instead, he decided to slide down short of the goal line to ensure us the victory. And that was a very selfless decision there from Levi Dunbar, playing in his final game in a Golden Gopher uniform. The senior could have had himself another touchdown, but instead, knowing how much it meant to the program that we win this game, he went down and ensured that we get the victory, not giving South Carolina the ball with any chance or anything else like that, just leading us to a couple kneel downs afterwards. I think that speaks volumes to the culture here in Minnesota that has been built since Coach Ben Van Zandt took over last season. Incredible win here, very exciting, hard-fought game. We take down South Carolina and we win the Outback Bowl, getting to 10 wins. Second time in a row, first time since the early 1900s for our program. Huge victory there. That is the 2013 season. We'll take a look here at the conference standings. And let's look at all the conference standings, look at all the champions. Starting here in the ACC, congratulations to Florida State, ACC champions. They take down North Carolina in the title game. Congratulations to TCU, Big 12 champions, phenomenal year from them. Louisville, Big East champions, great year. Big 10 champions, that is Michigan State. They take care of business and take down Wisconsin in the Big 10 title game. Rematch of the 2011 season Big 10 title game. Congratulations to UCF, Conference USA champions there. Let's look at the independents. Congratulations to Western Michigan for winning the MAC championship as they take down Ohio. And Mountain West champions, the Fresno State Bulldogs. Congratulations to them. They take down Boise State in the title game. The Pac-12 champions, that is Washington. They had a phenomenal year overall. Congratulations to the Huskies. SEC champions, that is the Georgia Bulldogs. Of course, the great season from Georgia, national champions. Arkansas State wins the Sun Belt, and Utah State wins the WAC. Congratulations to all the conference champions in the country. I will take a look at the results of all the bowl games. Look at the results here. Iowa taking down Toledo. Ohio State taking down Iowa State. Oregon winning the Sun Bowl. Northwestern losing in the Meineke Car Care Bowl. And there it is, the victory in the Outback Bowl over South Carolina, 17-13. Wisconsin winning the Capital One Bowl over Auburn. Michigan, in a high-scoring game, wins the Gator Bowl over Mississippi State. And the Rose Bowl goes to Washington, 26-25. Great win there for the Huskies to finish off an excellent year. Heartbreaker for the Spartans. Big Ten champions, but falling 1 point short in the Rose Bowl, granddaddy of them all. The Sugar Bowl was dominated by LSU, 42-6. They blow out Oklahoma. Orange Bowl, Florida State taking down Louisville in a high-scoring game, 44-41. The Fiesta Bowl, TCU getting the victory over Utah, 37-31. And the national championship goes to the Georgia Bulldogs, finishing a perfect 14-0 season. We'll look at the recap here. Georgia striking first in this one, 19-yard touchdown run from Nolan. Shortly after, Woods picking it off, taking it back 58 yards for a touchdown, 14-0 Bulldogs after one. Jackson, the Heisman winner, 49-yard touchdown run here. There's a 21-0 Bulldog lead. Notre Dame getting on the board late in the first half, 52-yard field goal, 21-0 Bulldogs at halftime. They extend it in the third quarter. Jackson, a 3-yard touchdown run. Notre Dame, Bonner to Banks, 13-yard touchdown pass there. But Georgia always having the answer. Jackson, a touchdown run from 10 yards out. Then Gonzalez getting it to another Jackson, 28-yard touchdown pass there. 42-10 going into the fourth quarter. Notre Dame was able to score in the fourth. Thomas coming in to replace Bonner, who got knocked out with an injury. Gutting it to Smith. They went for two and did not get it. 42-16 ends up being the final score there. Georgia, who began the season as one of the top-ranked teams in the nation, finishes off the season with perfection, winning the national title. Notre Dame was looking to become the second straight team to begin the season unranked and win a national championship. We did that last season. A lot of people were predicting Notre Dame to win this game. The difference between them in 2013 and us in 2012 was we had a lot of close games, a lot of nail-biting victories along the way. Notre Dame was mainly blowing out teams all season, and they just fall short here against a very, very good Georgia team in the national title. Of course, congratulations to the Bulldogs, a well-earned national championship. Let's take a look at the final top 25 rankings. Georgia 14-0 national champions. Look at their season here. They look strong all year long. They had a couple overtime games a little bit toward the later part of the season. Finished off looking strong. 42-21 SEC championship game, and a game that wasn't even that close. LSU scored the final 21 points of the game, and then they took care of business. Dominant faction once again taking down Notre Dame in the national title. Georgia, congratulations. Washington had an excellent season, 13-1. They finished things off. They lose a heartbreaker on the road by a field goal against a great Florida State team to start off the season. And they finished things off, winning their final 13 games and winning a thrilling, nail-biting game in the Rose Bowl over Michigan State. They finished number 2. TCU will finish number 3, 12-1 record. The Horned Frogs had a great season. Their only loss was that 10-point loss against Texas. They had some big wins along the way. They took down LSU, blew out Oklahoma, and then winning an exciting one in OT, taking down Utah to get a huge bowl victory to end their season. Notre Dame, they had looked phenomenal all year long. I think some big victories. Only close game was against Boston College when they just did not have their best game at all. Then they finished things off, taking care of Wisconsin and USC, then losing in the national title to Georgia. Still a great year for the Fighting Irish. Notre Dame is back. Texas will finish number 5 in the nation. Look at their season here. Heartbreaker against Oklahoma in OT, then losing to Oklahoma State, but that was the only losses they had. They handed TCU their only loss of the season, and they finished things off with a nice bowl victory against Alabama. LSU finishes number 6, 12-2. They lost their second game of the season, then they went on a big winning streak, didn't lose at all again until the SEC championship, and they finished things off with a dominant win over Oklahoma. Florida State will finish number 7. Started things off strong. Big win against Washington. Didn't know how big it was till later. They lost on the road to Clemson by a field goal. They lost on the road their final game of the regular season. A disappointing result there against the Gators. Then they finished things off dominating the ACC championship and winning an overtime thriller against Louisville to finish off with a great bowl win. Louisville, 11-2 record. They sure had a great season here. Didn't have any ranked victories, but they finished off the regular season 11-1. Only loss was to Syracuse, and a valiant effort, just falling heartbreakingly short against the Seminoles. Oklahoma finishes number 9 with a 10-3 record. Their losses were against very good teams. Loss to Notre Dame, a big victory against Texas, a loss to TCU, and a loss to LSU. Only losses were against top 6 ranked teams at the end. They finished number 9. Ohio State will finish number 10 as the top-ranked Big Ten team. Started things off 4-0. We gave them their first loss in that thriller. They lost the next week, too, against a great Wisconsin team. And they put together a bunch of wins, then lost to the big rival final week of the regular season at Michigan. Finished things off with a solid bowl victory against Iowa State. That's the top 10 to finish the year. Here's a look at the rest of the top 25. Wisconsin finishes 12. We finished 14, started at 24, finishing 14. Michigan 15, Michigan State 17. Northwestern finishes number 25. Now we'll take a quick look here at the final stats, season stats for us. It was a record-setting season from Josh Calhoun. 3,284 passing yards, 28 touchdowns. Did unfortunately have quite a few interceptions there. But there was certainly a lot of good for him in his junior year. Rushing wise, Michael Bass in his senior year, 695 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns led the team. Herb Martin with 3 rushing touchdowns. Calhoun had 1 rushing touchdown on the ground. Long run was 35 yards, just 35 yards for us here. Receiving wise, Martell Fowler was spot on, 64 catches, phenomenal year from him. Over 1,000 yards, over 1,100 yards, 148 total. He had 8 touchdowns, led receiving wise for us. Ostrander had 6, Dunbar and Lambert had 5, Benson had 4, Foster had 1. Blocks there. And here's a look at defensively. Anderson and Allen led with tackles. Anderson, Lee, Paul, 3 INTs. Some defensive touchdowns as well. Look at the others getting stats here. INT from Hayes as well. It's just we recorded a tackle. The tackle here. There. Kicking was Manuel Walker was 15 of 17, 88%. 53 was his long, perfect on extra points. Great work from him in his senior year. And there's our senior punter Shane Doyle. Just short of 2,200 total punting yards. Kick return, Adam Roberts, 42 kick returns, and he had the long 108-yard kick return to break Wisconsin hearts before halftime. Ended up being a huge play in the win there. There's some punt return numbers. That is it for the 2013 season recap. 10-3 Outback Bowl champions. Congratulations. Let's go Gophers.